Group podcast with our host, Sherrie Price Clark of Storehouse Media. Sherrie, how are you? And we have another great guest today.
Hi, Neil. I'm doing great. Thank you. Yes, we do have a great guest today. John's an old friend of mine, and he is a native of Jacksonville, Florida, who is happily married with two beautiful children. And he's also the author of two books, Grace Down Below, When Illness Strikes, and A Blessing to Choosing. Welcome, John Mott. How are you? How have you been?
Oh, been fantastic. Thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate that. It means a lot.
Sure, sure. Uh, yeah, John, he's a busy boy, but when I talked to you last time and I wanted to your hopes and dreams is to get a movie adaptation for Grace Down Below when illness strikes because you want to inspire millions. That's your story, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am, it
Would
is.
you give us a little tidbits of your story and why it's so powerful.
Well, the story, the premise of it is how good God has been to me in my life. So, prior to going through that episode of having a stroke as a young man, I was only 25 and I was perfectly healthy at my prime. And a stroke occurred. I mean, it was one of those things that came out of left field. Even after the paramedics, they checked me out, everything looked well. They didn't see the warning signs or anything like that for a stroke. They took me to the hospital because I decided to go. It was an option, and I listened to wise counsel. So I went. The doctors checked everything. Everything still looked normal. They checked everything. When I say from head to toe, that's exactly what they did, and they still couldn't determine what it was until they put me in a CAT scan, MRI, what have you, and they detected a stroke, a major stroke at that, and they couldn't figure out why because I didn't have no. It wasn't an indication that I was having a stroke, but I was having a full-fledged stroke. And it's a lot more in the book. It goes into details. It takes you through the entire journey of me having the stroke experience. I get excited.
Wow. And that journey, think of the hard times when it first happened to you and now where you're at.
Absolutely. I what what 15 years later? That was 2009. I'm 42. I was 25 at the time, and it was major. It was life shattering, but thankfully I had my faith to hold on to. I had my church community. I had loved ones. The power of prayer and determination, having a positive outlook on life, it helped significantly. So
Wow.
Well, I think it helped significantly, probably emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Like what would have happened if there weren't any prayers going up for you? I mean, that had to be super scary. You're in the prime of your life, everything's great, and boom, you have a stroke. Like, who'd have thought?
exactly, you're absolutely right. I mean, because I look back at it, and I'm like, I could only imagine if I was in that dark place that I was in for so long throughout my life growing up. I would have panicked. I would have freaked out. I mean, I would have just expected the worst. I wouldn't have really put forth any effort. I would just felt as though all hope is gone. Why even attempt to try anything or have a positive outlook? It's hopeless.
Yeah, yeah. That faith, that I mean, that's powerful in so many ways. I mean, that's how people get through a lot of things that are just unimaginable, like what you did. And so you went through, and here you are, years later, and you look at you, you listen to you, you can't even tell you've been through that.
Yeah, God is so good and faithful. I mean, when I say prayer and support, my church community, thanks to be to my pastor, been there going on 23 years. He always encouraged me. I never forget when I first got released out of Brooks Rehab. I was doing rehabilitation, occupational, physical, and I was with a cane and an AFO brace. And the first time I went through the line after church service, shook his hand, we were greeting and what have you, and he challenged me then and there. Because he had known me for so long, he knew I was a man of faith, and he knew that he wasn't going to push me too hard, but he pushed me just enough to get me to think like, hold on, you're right. I don't want to depend on this cane. And it was more than just physical, it was spiritual, emotional, mental, what have you. So the next time you saw me, which was that next week, I no longer had the cane, and I was challenged to put forth more effort to recovery rather than get laxed in that state.
Because
Wow.
people just get lax, right?
Yes.
Define more that, yeah. And
Oh my.
they give up. That give
Yes.
up feeling. Did you have that give up feeling at any time through the journey?
It's been times I wanted to just say, man, screw this. Going through physical therapy, outpatient, what have you. It wasn't hunky dory or peaches and cream by no means. Even 15 years later, I still have a little paralysis and I lose my balance from time to time if I'm not careful. So I move swiftly because if I slow down, just like working out, the slower you go with lifting weights, the more resistance you feel. That's exactly how it works with me. And I'm still working out now and it's helping significantly. So I'm seeing gradual growth with that, you know?
How about,
Well,
go ahead, Sherry.
go
Sorry.
ahead,
No,
Neil.
no, no. I was going to ask about brain activity. Once this happened, how difficult was that to catch the brain back up?
Believe it or not, the way I am today, I was prior to the stroke. The doctors were blown away by it. It was the
Wow.
only thing that was obvious and evident was the physical element, or as the right side of my body. My upper body's fine. The lower body is the glutes and below the ankle and the calf muscles and what have you. It's still weaker than the remainder of the muscles, but I'm still building over time.
I still can't believe it. Sherry, can
Yeah.
you? It's pretty
No,
unbelievable.
it's amazing that he went through that, and you know, but there's God, right?
Oh yeah.
And he survived it, and he survived it to tell the tale. And it's like you said, you want it to be adapted to a movie so it can inspire others. I think regardless of what age, I mean, I think, in 25, so unexpected and, scary, but I think at 75, it could be scary too.
Oh yeah.
And so I think no matter what age you're at, something like that, like you made it through and you had that willpower and that determination because of your faith, and
Absolutely.
something for other people to pull on to as well.
Yes,
It,
indeed.
I mean, it's absolutely powerful. And to think about now, you basically were able to recover everything from the stroke. Being younger, did that help in a way? I'm sure.
Yeah, statistics show that it helps. The doctors even said it that that was favorable for me. Nothing short of a miracle, to be honest with you. That number one, God has been faithful. When I say that, I mean it with all my heart. To this day, the doctors acknowledge it as nothing less than a miracle. They can't even define it. They can't even put their hands on it. They just left it alone. Like we can't really touch this. It's nothing we can do. No credit we can take. I was off medication 2 months after the stroke. I was on three. Typically, you're on medications for the rest of your life, blood thinners or what have you, or other things stem from the stroke, like a heart attack or another stroke, which is common. I never experienced that. Thanks be to God for that. So
Wow.
very grateful.
That's amazing. And you're a deacon, right? You're licensed and ordained minister and a deacon.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So that came after the fact, right? Do you think that going through something like that and knowing where your healing came, do you think that was because people can get healed, but they don't think about going to ministry? Some people, a lot of people do, but some people don't. Do you think that was part of that whole plan, or maybe help make your decision to go into ministry?
Well, actually, I was ordained even before the stroke. I got ordained. I just didn't specify. I got ordained in '06, had the stroke in '09. I
Wow.
was a junior deacon at the ministry. I was the youngest deacon on the deacon board.
Wow. Same church, huh?
Yes. Yes,
Isn't that
ma'am.
amazing? Wow. Well, John, you're also a songwriter, and
Yes.
you wrote The Faces of Stroke. It's an educational song dedicated to stroke survivors and caregivers. Tell us about that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, while I was at Brooks Rehab, the not the case manager, but the head physical therapist, she was the manager last time I communicated with her. She challenged me. She saw the way I carried myself. She saw the light. She was like, "It's something about you, something special that the other people need." So please promise me you'll come back and volunteer and give up your time and your support, whatever, in whatever way you can. And I gave up my word and I followed up. Not even a year later, I became a volunteer. Then later on, they created this campaign called the Face of the Stroke. I was one at the head table, and they wanted to come up with ideas. I said, I'm gonna write a song. They didn't know I was a songwriter. So the next meeting, I had a song. They did the initiation of the campaign, and I performed the song there. It's an actual educational song, and it could actually save somebody's life if you know the lyrics. It's all factual from the manual of what stroke is, what the symptoms are, the warning signs, what affects, how it affects you, and what have you.
Mm.
My goodness. My goodness.
I
Uh,
think it's so important to educate people about a
Yes,
stroke and stroke awareness. So important to have your health in order, but I'll also identify when you're having a stroke so that you can get the proper care because the time is ticking, right? Once you have a
yes,
stroke.
absolutely. Just think about CPR, uh, AED, and all those different techniques you have to know in order to save somebody's life. And it's a matter of seconds. Stroke is no different. The acronym FAST is a prime example: face, arm, speech, time. If you know the acronym alone, you have a better chance at saving that person's life. But if you know the specifics that I put in a song, you have an even greater chance of saving that person's life. You'll know how to identify it. You know what to do. You know how to go about it. You'll know what to look for. So yeah.
Wow.
wow. It's almost like I feel like you just, like that would be great information to get out. Did you write about any of that? Because you're an author. Did you put any of that in your book
Oh
that
yeah.
people can
My
access?
Yes, the whole journey. It's raw, it's uncut, because I want people to get realness. I don't want no fluff. Because trust me, going through that, it was nothing pleasant. It was ups and downs, a lot of downs, but it was a lot of ups too. And because keeping the faith and having a church community that loves me and helped me through the entire process and believed in me, yeah, it was tolerable. Like in the book, I talk about that. I'm saying it's tolerable. It ain't easy, but it's tolerable, wherein you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how dim it may be. It's still light.
Right. Because that the light at the end of the tunnel is something you need to have and anything and any
Yes.
hardship that happens to you because it just happens to you. And how do you respond to it? How do you respond to adversity? Has that helped you later on with any other adversity that's happened to you after that experience? I'm sure.
Yes. Yes. I can go on and on and on. There's so many more books in me. I am so looking forward to writing more.
That's
Uh,
great. I love it.
yeah, yeah, I'm definitely passionate about education and inspiring people. My saying is lead with the heart before asking for a hand. So in every capacity, every particular venue that I partake of, I want to have an impact, not just be one to impress.
That's awesome. I do remember that was a big deal with you, is that you wanted to impact lives. I mean, it was important to you and very admirable. And you have a company called Striver to Thriver LLC that bridges businesses, right, with between the consumers and the businesses. Tell us about that, please.
Uh, Absolutely. So when you think of the connections between consumers and business owners, be it business to consumer or business to business, you think of many challenges they face, right? And it's very common. I've lived it personally and I've seen it. I've experienced it. As a customer, I was mistreated or discriminated against for whatever reason, or a person was having a bad day and they didn't think to consider me as someone of value that I could add to their business in some kind of way as a customer or as a partner. So all these different commonalities I thought of, I said, wait a minute. I said, I have a passion for helping people. I love to bridge gaps. I love to build resource and have an impact. Why don't I get in the center where it all begins with business, you know, entrepreneurship? So if I can help the business professionals, equip them properly, help them teach them how to effectively and efficiently network and actually care about the individuals that's involved. If I can help resolve those common issues, then the outcome would be far greater. So I had certain roles with other big reputable companies, like I don't want to name them necessarily, but the one role I took was a health concierge. and that was a white glove service. So with that, I just incorporated that within the model. I want people to feel valued. I want them to feel special, no matter the color of their skin, no matter what their faith is, their belief, or what have you. I want them to feel appreciated. So every interaction, every transaction, you'll see the value through and through, because we want to equip every partner, um, every source involved, to make sure everybody win.
Wow. I love this because you're right. The healthcare is one of the big things. Basically the power of networking, the power of knowing people, still more powerful than running Facebook ads, still more powerful than doing social media posts or doing podcasts. It's getting people together that are looking to do business.
Yes.
And that, regardless if you have a product or service, it is the fastest way to grow quickly is through
Yes.
that relationship networking. And so many people do networking wrong. Okay. They're looking at
Yes.
what is it in for me? What can I get? Instead of, oh my gosh, I got to build a relationship first. It's like dating. And I have to really get that person to be interested in me. And at one point they might refer me. If I give to them and they don't give back, the networking relationship was a total loss. But if somebody sees that there's a win-win, it's the fastest way to change a day, a night, or ultimately 5 years down the road, they reach out to you and it ends up becoming a big business deal. That's the power of having relationships in business.
Couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Look at Sherrie. I mean, a wonderful individual. You yourself, I commend both of you for your successes and helping people along the way, this journey we call life. And I'm grateful to be a part of it, and I'm honored by it. And my thing is, whatever I can do to better serve you all, to make your lives a little easier, make it a little better. I'm a servant. I'm a servant at heart. So if I can accommodate in any kind of way, hey,
It's
just let me
it's a
know.
give. And if you
Yes.
connect people to the right people, right, Sherry, and make
That's right.
sure it's not a waste of time, that there's a real mutual relationship and matchmaking. Sometimes if there's a fail, but ultimately you shouldn't go to a networking event and say, what am I going to get out of this? Versus what am I going to do to help somebody else? And then that's going to be the next level. You never know when. I had a client, and this is an interesting story, 13 years, no referrals, or I had a couple of referrals, no sales. This year, I produced more for this client than one of 90% of my clients this year in
Wow.
referrals. And it was, so you can't give up. You don't
Mm,
know when that next big thing, that next phone call, that next opportunity comes. So you're going to have a lot of strikeouts in networking. I'm just trying to show people that that's what you have to go out instead of what am I going to get from this networking experience.
absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely. And yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sherry.
oh, I was going to say at the bottom of your signature line on your email, you have a quote, your quote, lead with your heart before asking for a hand. And when I read that, I was like, wow, that's so profound. Just a few
Thank you.
words, but it's so profound.
Appreciate that.
Lead with your heart before asking for a hand. Like give before you expect back. I mean, it's about giving.
Yes,
Wow.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And then you reap what you get. So whether you give and before asking for a hand or you take, you do reap what you sow in
No,
the long
totally.
run.
And if you look at all the successful people in business, even if they are not the most ethical, they have relationships and they have their certain key people that help them perform to have their success as entrepreneurs, right, John?
Yes, sir.
Without that,
Absolutely.
it's not happening. You
Yeah,
can't do it alone.
it's it's like a chef with all of his equipment. If he don't have his equipment, he can have the ingredients, but he's not going to effectively be able to execute on it. It's not going to be as pleasant or as on point as you know it can be. The potential is there, but it's not going to be tapped into because something is missing, certain elements. Yeah, but that's pretty critical.
Good.
Well, I do want to put out there another venture you're in is you still work with prepaid legal services, right? The prepaid legal service.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Legal Shield is that was the grandfather name, the original.
It's
Yeah,
not called
Yes,
that
Legal
yeah.
Shield
was.
anymore. Is it done? So,
No,
John, I'm
it's a
still with
legal show
Legal
now.
Shield. Yeah.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Yeah, because you know, back in the day, prepaid legal, that was the original name, but then
I
life
know it as
happened.
Legal Shield. I know it as Legal Shield.
Yes,
I've been
yes.
there
So
and I've been it's saved me so much money on legal fees. It's ridiculous. Now with I don't have to use it as much, but if I know for a fact I can't find the answer, you can go and have those conversations and calls with a professional, and I'll keep it always in my back pocket because of the ability to get paperwork done, or you get yourself caught up in something that, heck, I want to do this. Legal Shield has been there for me. Totally.
that's right. Well, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And I was just talking with my wife. I said, hey, babe, we have to look into, you know, getting our wills situated, and that's included in it free of charge to our customers. So that means a lot.
Yeah,
That's again
I pay
impact.
monthly, and I'm probably going to set up another will soon. So that's that. I forgot about those things. So you have to kind of, we stay in touch and see if I can get my membership back active again, and that is another affiliate because I have multiple affiliate programs that I'm building in 2026 in the on the affiliate side. AI affiliate, some great health products and everything. And I'm doing it more because I love the products. I'm not looking at the bottom line of, okay, if you buy from me, but if I'm purchasing it and it's really helping optimize me, you should
Mhm.
consider optimizing you. And if you're a business owner and you don't have the time to deal with AI, like I've figured out things, and you want answers quickly, all you do
Yes,
is pick up the phone. You can talk to them for hours. It's
that's
that's
right.
how, and they're there for you through the process. And
Yes.
if you need to hire an attorney, you have the ability. And I can't speak so highly about the organization.
Well, that means a lot coming from you, sir. And I'm here for you. Any kind of way I can help you, you let me know. I just love evolution is what it is, and Legal Shield figured it out. When you have that kind of power, when you have 69 plus 100 attorneys on in every state in the U.S. and even in Canada, you have 4 provinces and territories, English, Spanish, and some French speaking. You're doing something right. Been around 50 plus years. You're doing something right. You know, and you know when you're dealing with trademarks and copyrights and all these different things, you're going beyond just a consultation, which does account for over 90% of our business, as far as the 4+ million members, right? You're making a great impact on individuals, consumers, and business professionals, group benefits and all, seated truck drivers, gun owners, you name it. We're helping accommodate in whatever way we can. That's service to me. That's white glove service.
No, because you get on the phone, you feel stressed, and they're like, "Hey, we can handle this, and we'll take care of this for you." And that's the power. And I have to remember I have it. I pay every month. It's like insurance for me. But
Yes.
I don't know what's happening. You know what I mean? I see it come out of my bank account and I'm like, okay. And when I need it, I need it. And they just did so many different things that saved me so many dollars on the legal side. Sherry, are you familiar with Legal Shield?
Yeah, I've had it too. It
Yeah.
has kept me out of trouble. I'll call and I'm like, hey, just kind of thinking, should I do this and that? And they're like, no. And I'm like, what? Oh, okay. So, it's kept me from doing things that, when you look at something, you have a little catch and you think, I don't know if I can do that. They're there, again, it could be anything like you were talking about trademarks, copyrights, just so many issues that it's the whole spectrum. It's not just geared to one area like family law or business law or corporate law. It covers everything.
And the lawyers that work there are truly working there because they love what they do, because they
Yes.
could retire. They're using it as a way to make a little extra money, but also provide the ability to work from home and just write paperwork and work with great professionals and not have to have their own firm at that point in time in their career. And a lot of them know a lot of the higher ups in certain industries. So that's the power I saw in the Pittsburgh area with Legal Shield. Like I said, I not as many people can prompt like me on AI, so that's the only way I would say I haven't had to use it as much anymore. And it's also because I was in a different phase in family law that I could use them anymore. But for business, I'm jumping on it
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
because guess what? You better dot every I and cross every T at the end of the
Mm.
day. And it's always a good thing to have an end of year conversation when you're seeing all these people coming out of the woodwork promising the world.
Yeah, and I'll say this, just think about it. I mean, you can be a multi-billionaire, and what keeps people at the status of success, as far as billionaire, millionaire, six figures, or what have you, multiple streams of income, is they're thinking ahead. Okay, so my time is valuable. I want to focus on the main thing. I don't want to focus on the minors. So if I have a service that's affordable, but it's legitimate, it's the real deal, it can accommodate me in that area. I can focus on the priorities. That'll free up a lot of time and energy on my end. No matter how much money I have, I can use that money more wisely and be a good steward. Put it towards maybe a nonprofit or put it towards another business venture. That's thinking business smart. Not just, well, I got the money, I just blow 10,000 a month on just one attorney that may not even return my phone call. Legal Shield made it wherein now you can schedule, because there's always enhancements, always evolution. Now you in control fully through the app. You actually put in the time, you put the category, that attorney call you
See, I
within
don't know
that
any of that
window.
stuff. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's
No, so
unreal.
because that's one of the biggest things I would try to get them to do it by speaking nice to the receptionist. Can you make sure this is scheduled so I don't have a call and then I miss the call? And most of the time they were able to accommodate me, but now going to that level, you're not
Yeah.
finding that with attorneys today. And I think that's the evolution that they needed to have to evolve because it's evolution. Everything in business has to evolve. If you don't make changes, you're going to die.
Yes.
Pure and simple.
Pretty much. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Sherrie, any other questions? This is such a great conversation.
It is. John's such an interesting guy. Just John, where can people find you? Where can they get your books? Where can they get your song? You know, just get to know you better.
So the book is on Amazon. You go to Amazon, you can order the ebook, preferably the paperback, because it's tangible and you'll always have it. Electronics, they die and things happen. And it's not the same. I'm old fashioned with that. The song, if you want to listen to the song or set up something where we can maybe create an opportunity to educate others in some kind of space, you can reach me directly, 904 That's my number you can reach me at. Or my email address, j31983 at gmail.com. Again, j31983 at gmail.com. Still building the infrastructure of the company, Striver to Thriver LLC. So excited about it. Dealing with local officials, City of Jacksonville, SBA, SBDC, Jacksport, JTA, you name it, just establishing things with them so we can better serve the entrepreneur space.
Wonderful. All right. We appreciate it. And go to storehousemediagroup.com for all things media, marketing, and much, much more. We have a lot of news to come in 2026. Appreciate it, guys. That was the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the Storehouse